Good morning, everyone. Today is April 24th, 2020, and we'll start with our This Day in History. On this day in 1916, the Easter Rebellion began. This was a rebellion in Ireland. It was an attempt to overthrow their British rule. It was not successful, and nearly 500 people died. This was not the first and not the last time the Irish tried to overthrow the British. The most famous, most current, is the IRA, in the 1980s, and they would do bombings all over London. And in fact, today in England, like how when you're in DC and you need to throw something out, there's like a trash can. They don't have those in London, because the IRA would put the bombs in the trash cans. So if you do find a trash can in London, it's pretty much just like this weird stand thing with a clear plastic bag hanging from it, so that way they can see what's inside it. So that I learned when I was in London, but that's the IRA. That's later. The Easter Rebellion was a little over 100 years ago, and about 500 people died from that. This day in 1800, the Library of Congress was established. This was established by Thomas Jefferson after he went broke. So he sold the U.S. government his extensive personal library, and it's kind of gone from there. The Library of Congress has copies of every book published in America in their collection. On this day in 1953, Winston Churchill was knighted. Winston Churchill served as Prime Minister to the United Kingdom twice, once most famously during World War II. And to be knighted it's kind of like the highest honor that you can give a person in England, so he's now called Sir Winston Churchill. On this day, also in 1990, the Hubble telescope is launched. That's a telescope where we get a lot of our pictures of like way, way far out there in space. And in 1915, the Ottoman Empire begins its systematic extermination of the Armenians, meaning it is the beginning of the Armenian genocide. This is considered to be the first modern genocide. A genocide is the systematic killing of people because of some quality that they have. So systematic means that there are things put in place. The Turks, so as the Armenian Empire, did not like the Armenians. They thought they were inferior. They started executing them, kicking them out of their homeland, and killing them. To this day, Turkey does not acknowledge the Armenian genocide, while pretty much everywhere else in the world does. So to protest it, typically on this day, the Armenians will march from one of the embassies. I don't remember which one they start from. I think they start in the Armenian embassy and they march in DC all the way down to the Turkish embassy to protest, because pretty much the rest of the world has acknowledged that this genocide has happened. Turkey's like, no, just a bunch of people died. It wasn't a genocide. We had nothing to do with it. Yeah, good times. All right, what's going on today? Your work is due today by 11:59 p.m. So you have until midnight to get it done. Please, please, please get it done. I have office hours for periods 5, 6, and 7. They're going to be at 1, 2, and 3 o'clock. This is important. From now on, you're going to use the exact same link every single time to get to Zoom. And I'm going to put it in the classwork section of Google Classroom where you have your distance learning materials. Periods 1 and 4, you're going to be in the same boat starting next week on Tuesday. So periods 5, 6, and 7, from now on, every single time you want to get onto Zoom, you're going to use the exact same link. And if you go to classwork on Google Classroom, the distance learning materials, you'll find it there. I'll be checking my email all day, so if you have any questions, let me know. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend.